Okay.
So you'll see, you'll notice that. So
Hey everybody, thanks
we
for
like to talk a lot there, and we're going to do a lot of that as
Live.
well.
Here, my name's Cindy, and I'm
Dan
here
knows me
with
well.
Derby Mike.
Oh,
And it's Derby Mike's time to shine, because next week is the Kentucky Derby. Mike is the owner and operator of the Derby shop in the Statons building. And you can check it out and go there for all your Derby needs and any Derby questions you have. Mike is your go-to. He knows everything about the Kentucky Derby, and we're going to be talking about that today. And
but not only go to, we're going to Goji. So that's
Yeah.
that's on the top of my list right now, and I'm going to take a few of these bottles with me for the road because it's a 13-hour drive, both back and forth. So I think that this will get me there.
to Louisville.
Yeah, absolutely.
next
I'll be
week.
chilling with this. Maybe I gotta ask Scott and Julia though if it's not illegal to put a little a shot of bourbon in it, because if I'm in Kentucky, that's the distillery capital of the world for
I
bourbon.
think it
So.
depends on if you're riding a horse to Kentucky.
Okay.
I think you can
A little
drink
bit
and-
more
I
fuel.
think you can drink and ride. Yeah.
Okay, drink and ride.
Yeah, if you're
Okay,
driving a
right.
vehicle, no way.
Yeah, I think the laws are more friendlier down there for everything. So yeah, that's
So
good.
we are fortunate to have Scott and Julia Lindsay in the house with us, and they are the owners of Goji, the newest juice bar that's going to be opening up in Summers Point in just a couple weeks?
We're about 2 weeks out. We just got our CO on Thursday of this week, and we're hitting the ground running. A couple farmers markets and full training at the end of this week. So we should be open in about 2 weeks.
Wow,
It's fantastic.
what a story that is. I mean, taking an existing Burger King. I mean, when you're out on Route 9, I mean, really, was the Whopper calling you, or was it like this is what we need? This building could exist. I don't know what you would see in the Burger King idea, but
We've driven by that building, and it's
Okay.
kind of dilapidated.
Yeah.
We've driven by it. We're Summers Point residents, and we've driven by that for just years. And we would look
Right.
at this building and just have ideas. What could go there? What could go there? And and this idea just hit, and it seemed to be the right place, right time. And it's a beautiful
Wow.
story. Nice turnaround.
wow.
I love the turnaround.
It sure
and
is.
The
Yeah.
healthiness and how it's just the polar opposite of fast food as we knew it when I was growing up. It's, Goji, if you're not familiar with it, it was a pop-up juice bar type of thing like that you would see at the farmers markets and festivals, and it was in JR's Fresh Market before it closed down. And now it's going to have its first brick and mortar in the former Burger King in Summers Point.
Well, there's a story behind that as well, right? I mean,
There is.
there was a little inspiration in this and that, right?
Yeah, it's a beautiful story. Would you like me to go into it?
Well, we'll
Yes.
probably, if we have a few minutes, I think we have a caller first, Joe. Let's see
Okay,
what's
sure.
on Joe's mind, and we're going to take that probably after the 3:15 second half of the first half.
Hello, Joe? Joe?
Hi.
Hi, thank you for calling in to Shore Local Live.
Now, Cindy, did you say you're a baker and you bake for the Wawa corporation?
No, I am the worst baker ever.
You don't want her to bake
No.
for wildlife
I
or
would
any of us.
burn it.
Yeah.
I thought you supplied the donuts at the Wawa.
Oh, no. I like to look at the donuts at the Wawa. I try not to eat them.
Wrong baker. But if you really want something great,
yeah.
Chester's or Ward's right here in our backyard. They're phenomenal with their pastries and donuts, etc. So
Yeah.
they're the ones you would want baking. Believe us.
I don't know where I heard. I thought I was listening to you, and I thought you said that you were in bakery or something or other.
I think I might know what you're referring to. I did a live stream on April 13th from Chester's Bakery, and I was getting a cake from Mike because it was his birthday. So did you see it on Facebook, Joe?
No, I had $20 in Wawa gift certificates, and I thought I'd buy out the bakery section.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm confused.
That's okay.
Okay, no problem, Joe.
Okay.
Thanks for calling in. Have
Appreciate
a
it
beautiful
very
day.
much. Okay.
All right, bye. All right, Scott, let's get back to your Goji story.
No problem. So, kind of the inception of how me and Julie came into Goji. We had met the former owners, Grant and Lauren, who started this beautiful concept and beautiful juice bar that sort of got a segue into a formal space at the JR's old flower shop. I was doing a clothing drive for Big Brothers Big Sisters about a year and a half ago, and the old owner Grant, and me and him became really good friends. And when JR's was closing down, they decided they wanted to move to Costa Rica, and me and Julie decided to purchase the business and the concept, and to put it in a brick and mortar, because it's all about the product. The product is, the product and how it was designed was just, so inspiring to us. And being vegetarians, local in the community, it's something that we need around here,
Yeah, you had mentioned the fact of your big involvement with the community. I mean, not just the product, but the social integration, pulling people together in the Summers Point region and the neighboring surrounding areas for one unified effort of, starting a new social culture.
That's correct. So sort of the concept behind Goji is to make healthy food approachable and quick, convenient. But at the same time, this place that we designed it's a meeting place. Like, you've been in there, Mike. It's really comfortable.
My goodness, I was comfortable even when you shelled the wood and this and the counter and everything. I said, I'm comfortable. And then you pulled in the couches.
Yeah.
Right. I figured I'll stay here now. That's okay. I don't have to wait for the next round.
Yeah.
Wow. But this
So you
it's
did a lot of renovations.
oh my goodness.
Oh, we sure did. It was quite a feat. It was 77 days. It's a funny story. I got the keys to the building, the old Burger King, the keys to the castle. We got on February 8th, which was my 30th birthday. It just happened to line up like that. And 77 days later, we got the CO, and we're allowed to operate our business. And we're looking forward. We just hired a great team of people, and really bring it together.
That's fantastic. And the word goji, that's a type of berry, right?
It is. So it's actually like a Himalayan berry. It's one of the most nutrient-dense foods in the world. And, it's just kind of, it's a cool word, number one, goji.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't
is.
know how to say it. But, it's just a nutrient-dense superfood is essentially what it is. And that's kind of the impetus for everything that we have here. The products are they're packed with goods. Like, each one of these bottles has a couple pounds of produce, fruits, vegetables within it, cold pressed, and it's about feeding your body the right way and doing it in an effective manner. So you shouldn't have to make 6 figures a year to be able to afford a decent meal. That's kind of our approach to it.
Absolutely. And everything that you produce is vegan and all natural?
That is correct.
That's awesome.
Locally sourced is part of our ethos. So it's locally sourced products. We use Hamilton Farm, Donio. We have good friends with Ben Mazzio and the Mazzios over there. And, working directly with some of the farmers. And, like this impetus for this strawberry juice was, the flats of strawberries. It's strawberry season now. So let's get the strawberries in there. It's time to make strawberry juice. Let's figure it out,
I love it. And we are so fortunate because you brought us samples and so many bottles to try, which I don't know which one is best. I don't know which one to open first. But it's unique because it's not in the plastic cup with the straw. It's in a glass jar with a lid. And then I would imagine you could wash this out and then bring it back to Goji?
That is correct. That's actually the first reusable bottle system in the United States, in the country, for juice.
Wow.
It is. Yeah, and
That's
we
awesome.
worked with the health department directly, and basically what we have is it's a process we felt very strongly about, not having a bunch of plastic bottles. And our goal was to create a nice reusable bottle so the customer can come and get this bottle. Basically, they own the bottle. They can come back and get juice at a discounted rate from us, and we don't have to feel bad about landfill and all the plastic.
That's so great. It's about time. And
Yeah.
you're rolling this out just before the ACOA Earth Day Festival. Are you going to be there tomorrow?
We sure will.
Yeah.
We're going to have to, this is a breaking call from New York, so we're just going to have a few minute interruption here about our great Goji, but hopefully Mr. Comas will be able to salute us in this. He granted us the courtesy.
All right.
All right.
So, hello, Larry.
Hello, Larry. Good day.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, great. Live, how's things at Belmont Park in New York?
We're hanging in there. We're in between races today. We had a lot of rain yesterday, but it's a lot nicer today. So so far so good this afternoon.
All right. Thank you so much for calling and taking your time. Obviously, it's a big week, and it's a big, probably 6 or 7 weeks ahead of you. We know the direction you're going. You just don't know the outcome yet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is going to bring me to a question, but I got to ask you this, okay? At 18 years old, you're calling your first race, okay? at what age did you have this inclination that I need to be a caller? 3, 4, 5? Because there's not a lot of years there, you know.
Yeah, I probably started to get into the horse racing into things, and about when I was 15 years old or so, and then didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, and I started to listen to the different announcers around the country, and thought to myself, hey, maybe this is something I could do, and started practicing calling races in a little room at the Maryland tracks, and then one day they decided I was good enough to do it, and they started letting me call a race a day at age 18, and at the time I would have never imagined I'd be, calling the races in New York, let alone calling the Triple Crown races for NBC Sports.
That's incredible. And if all the audience out there, Larry Comas is the voice of NBC during the Triple Crown, the Kentucky Derby, the Belmont, or obviously the Preakness in between, as well as likewise the Breeders' Cup in the fall. So, I mean, some of your great notoriety as far as your calls are concerned. Obviously, I remember 2015, with American Pharaoh, and then also, just recently Justify. And that must have been some experience. How, with the Triple Crown, American Pharaohs 2 down, 1 to go, do you play this out in your head as far as the scenarios that may transpire coming down the backstretch, coming around, turning for home, making that his run for glory? Tell me where you're at with all that. How do you calculate all that, and give us some idea what it's like to be behind there?
Well, obviously, you do want to be prepared for history, if history is to be made, and it wasn't made for 37 years. So
yeah.
I got in my head, what are you going to say if this horse wins?
Yeah.
Clearly,
Yeah.
with a decisive advantage, and luckily he did, and he was able to give me, the opportunity to say, the 37-year wait is over. American Pharaoh
is finally the one. Oh my goodness, yeah. And that everybody knows he's finally the one. When you just say that, there's their flashback to American Pharaoh of 2015. But now we fast forward a little bit, and I know you globetrotted quite a few tracks, and you were at Churchill Downs as well, for a while. Justify. Did you see that coming? How did you feel about the coming when he emerged out of the fog, and there he was? You couldn't see anything, right, on the backside at that day?
Pimlico in the Preakness Stakes, it was completely shrouded in fog, and luckily NBC had some monitors for me and some cameras on the turns that would help me, see parts of the race.
Yeah.
Once he emerged from the fog, you realize, hey, you're going to get a chance at another Triple Crown possibility, and sure enough, he did it.
Yeah.
And, after all this time with no Triple Crowns, now we've had 2, and I've been blessed to call both of them.
Yep, absolutely. Who knows what to expect next? But this one, obviously, with the legacy and the amount of racing days that he accomplished this feat, being undefeated, at 6-0, he did find his place. And if not, you reference him as racing's immortal Justify. And now he's just immortal. And I remember that quite, well. But one of the most compelling calls you did was at Monmouth Park? I forgot the year. My wife didn't know. My wife knows or something. That generated over 100,000 YouTube hits.
Yeah, we had a lot. I think it was more of 1 million.
Is that what it was? Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I remember that. I said, wow. Yeah.
2 horses in the race. My wife knows everything, and the wife doesn't know. And it was 2010, so that's been almost 9 years ago. And they finished first and second. Then it was a complete coincidence that you would have 2 horses with those names. And the odds of that are so high. And first and second on top of that just made it equal.
Yes, it's like first and second. Of course they are. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Like, what else do you expect? This is playing out. My goodness, I don't know what to say. But wow, we'll have to play that, on YouTube just for our local audience in the studio today. We're featuring a few things. We were honored of one of the most humble jockeys last week, Mike Smith, calling into the show. And my goodness, he's just so grateful and so blessed and so humble. He's one of the most, approachable individuals and appreciative individuals that I know. Both jockeys, both athletes, and just as an individual,
No question about it. He's a wonderful guy, and when he won the Triple Crown with Justify, I told everyone that, you know, I was happier for him than I was for everybody else because Bob Baffert had already won his Triple Crown with American Pharoah, and it meant so much to have a guy of the caliber and class of
Yeah.
Smith to be the guy that did it for him the second time and justify.
Oh, no, absolutely. It couldn't have been wishful for a more deserving individual, especially at his age, as, 54 years old. A lot of people don't realize, not only just in racing, he's probably one of the most conditioned athletes of all, athletic, sports or whatever it might be in the world, And
No doubt about it.
that's something a lot of people don't know about that. But I wanted to introduce you to the general public. I mean, we broadcast here locally in the Atlantic Cape region, maybe 30,000 listeners, whatever it might be. But you're going to be in front of about 26 or almost 30 million next week, right? So that's pretty impressive,
Yeah, first Saturday in May, we got a lot of people watching, and it's a whole lot of fun. And it's a pressure-packed 2 minutes, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to switch places with anyone.
Nope, not at all. Do you have a favorite, Larry? I gotta ask you. I don't know if you're selecting here and there. I know you're unbiased with the call and everything like that, but is there,
You have to be totally unbiased. The horse that's probably going to be the favorite is Omaha Beach, who's
Yes.
Also ridden by Mike Smith this year. And Bob Baffert has 3 horses in the race, and one of those is Game Winner. And I think that he's my favorite among Bob Baffert's horses. And we also have a horse here that ran in New York that was really impressive named Cactus, who won the Wood Memorial. So I don't make any picks for the Derby because I have to keep an even.
Oh, I know. You have to remain relatively neutral, I'm sure, and unbiased on it because, but again, you're not the one riding. You're not the, you're not the horse. You're not the one conditioned. So the outcome is not up to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow, that's incredible. We're going to follow up with you, Larry, because we'd love to do a story on you in print, online as well, and your life. Being bounced around at 18 years old. You're very inspiring. You're very energetic, enthusiastic. You're very passionate with the horse racing industry. We live on the coast of Atlantic City, where at one time Atlantic City used to be one of the greatest tracks in the country. Unfortunately, it's been closed for years, but we're looking, hopefully that could be revitalized at one point and bring racing back to our region. And you're familiar with Monmouth, obviously, because you were there quite a few years as well. So we're just hoping for the best in our region. I wish you well for the call of the Kentucky Derby and following up, with the Preakness and the Belmont. I know you're going to be very busy, but at one point over the next several weeks, I have somebody call you to do a nice, article just on your life and what it is to be behind the mic. We're behind the mic here at WOND Shore Local Live Studio, but there's nothing, to be said about your voice and how you carry. You are the voice out there for sure, and we're blessed just to have you on the show today, Larry. And I know you got a job to do, and you'll be back calling whatever race it is at Belmont Park, right, today?
Yeah, the horses are about to come onto the track for the pit, so I'm going to let you guys know. Nice to be on with you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you, Larry.
Comas. Thank you so much. God bless, and see you in Louisville. All right?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah. And that was Larry Comas. He's the voice of NBC, the New York Racing Association. He's the most inspiring voice behind NBC with the Triple Crown Series. And you got to watch it next Saturday, May 4th, the Kentucky Derby. You'll hear what I'm saying. You'll hear Larry's call. He's award-winning with everything he does with NBC and their coverage of the Triple Crown Series. Numerous amount of awards. Nobody does it best with NBC when it comes to the sports. Thank you. Now we're back to Scott and and Julia, and then we'll probably have to go to a break, but we got the second half an hour to talk much more in detail and depth about their journey with Goji.
Great.
All right.
What is it? What type of drink is this? It's delicious. Strawberry.
So
milk?
that is a strawberry. It's called Strawberry Fields, is what we named it, but it's strawberries, pineapple, orange, lemon, and mint. Mint is the kicker on the end there.
Yeah.
Mint.
Yeah.
Really?
A little
It was
bit of
about-
pineapple, right?
Yeah, there's pineapple. And there's about 50 pounds of produce that we press into a couple gallons of juice, and just for this weekend. We're going to be at the 2 events. We're at Linwood Farmers Market and ACUA Earth Day tomorrow. It's supposed to be a beautiful
So
day.
good.
Yeah.
How many different varieties are you going to have in shop?
So we have about 5 standards that range from just a straight green juice, which has no sugar in it, no natural sugars. Diabetic could drink it, no problem at all. Stay healthy. all the way
Sugar, yeah.
Yeah.
all the way up to a sweet green juice, which has apple added into that. Then we
Okay.
have a carrot-based juice. Then we have a beet-based juice, and then we have like a seasonal juice as well, and a pineapple-based juice. Very popular with the children.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And a lot of these juices, I mean, you could cut to do different versions of whatever shakes you want to add, fresh vegetables, whatever it might be, or, you know, can you, I guess the question is, can you combine this with some of the alternative milks and everything to make something, maybe a frozen style dessert, or?
What we do is we have a very
Creativity,
integrated
yeah.
menu. So
Uh-huh.
we have smoothies as well.
Right,
And
okay.
some of the juices are actually in the smoothies. So it kind of all blends together. But
Yeah.
the idea behind it is we have basically like 13 raw ingredients that pretty much make up everything on our
Yeah.
menu. So
Yeah.
you know, we're not not a lot of waste involved in it. We're not throwing anything away. Once something is getting too close to be juiced, it's frozen for a smoothie, and it's at peak ripeness. We're freezing it. It's going into a smoothie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
And you have coffee too.
we do, and we're coffee people. We're very passionate about
So
coffee.
are we.
Yeah.
She won't stop,
It's
but
gotta
I
be
gotta
a-
stop at one point
Yeah,
where I'll
right.
be wired
Yeah.
up on it.
So we actually have a partner with a roaster in Philadelphia, award-winning roaster, Elixir Coffee. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. Small outfit. They started out in 2010 with a shop and using other people's coffees, other suppliers, and basically they started a nice roasting business. They
So
have a-
small batch roaster kind of.
Exactly. Yeah.
concept,
So
yeah.
we know exactly where the coffee's
Yeah,
coming from.
yeah.
They've personally visited the farms. They're hands-on training us. So everything's really standardized.
Well, I gotta move this out of the way. You know, all right.
He's moving
All
his
right.
Dunkin'
Yeah,
Donuts.
yeah, absolutely.
Big box,
yeah,
yeah,
little
yeah.
box.
Coupons or not, I don't need. I want to go where the real deal is.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah.
found it here. Yeah. Wow. That's
Well, we're going to be taking a break, and when we come back, we're going to hear more about the Goji brick and mortar building in the former Burger King in Summers Point that's going to be opening in just a couple weeks. Very exciting. All right, folks, we'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in to Shore Local Live.
On that and learning about all these different ways to
Yeah.
eat. My mom making all these creative foods and having
Yeah.
some of those meals. Sometimes you're like, do we have to pretend like we like this one? You know.
Yeah, yeah.
But the truth is, not everything is for everybody. And the
Yeah.
same thing with these
Yeah.
juices. That's why we have different textures, flavors.
You know what? It's great that you have that vision and you have that open mindedness. Not everything is for everybody. So
That's
we're
right.
going to create a good balance. You know what I mean? Selected amount of here that where one person could say, you know what, I could try this. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
This is not going to hurt me. That's something of my liking, whatever. I like beets, you know what I mean, anyway,
right.
on salads. So let me try beet juice. Why
That's
not? Right. I mean, so,
And it's more digestible as like a straight beet juice. If
Yeah.
you're not drinking juice or really health oriented,
uh-huh.
it's kind of hard to just down
Yeah, down the hatch with a
Yeah.
beet juice.
Yeah, but here our beet blend here, which is our sunrise blend,
Yeah.
it's got a mix of beet, oranges, celery, ginger. So you really get like a really nice balance in there, a little bit of lemon, and it really hits your whole palate. And like we give samples out at the farmers markets. There's a couple people that are just popping samples to them. So, oh, if you told me there were beets in that, I wouldn't have drank it, but that was delicious. You know, and that's what it's about, is how do we get good quality foods
Mhm.
in people's hands
Mhm.
and make them make the right decision. You know, it's
Yeah.
an easy decision when it's
Yeah.
presented in the proper format.
Yeah.
What do your parents think about this, Scott?
They love it. Like my parents, they helped out a couple of the late nights. My father was over there swinging hammers, hanging doors with us. You know, and they love it. They love it, and then I see it becoming a meeting grounds already, and that's what it's about. Like in other countries, coffee shops, they're
Mhm.
meeting places.
Yes, Europe is very prevalent for that.
Exactly.
Just about every corner there's a little bistro, coffee shop, fresco. Everybody's out there. They're taking their little siestas. I could imagine you could create this little atmosphere as well, where people could make a little stop, take a 10-minute refresher, rejuvenate them for the second half of their day. You know,
So
they're good to go.
when we designed the
Yeah,
space,
yeah.
we kind of kept some of the remnants of Burger King, like the old concrete floor where you can
Okay.
see the mastic of the Burger King,
Okay.
the tin ceiling, and then we
Okay.
revamped everything in between those two. And really the idea is to kind of transport you out of your daily life, that hustle and bustle. You
Right.
walk in the door, you
Right.
should have a sigh of relief. I have 10 minutes,
Yeah.
I'm going to get myself a nice coffee, a nice drink, a nice smoothie, a nice piece of food, sit down, clear my head,
Absolutely.
and get back out there.
I couldn't agree more. That would be more of me. However, with that being said, the caveat is, if you are still in that hustle and bustle and you can't make time to stay, guess what? You got to drive in! Yay!
I always wanted, for some reason, maybe
Go,
I'm,
go,
maybe
on the
I'm
go.
weird or something, but I
Yeah.
always wanted to own a drive-through, and,
Yeah.
and I stand at that window. I can't wait. It's
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah.
exciting stuff.
Yeah,
you
but it
know?
wasn't going to be at Burger King or McDonald's. You're going to create your own
Yeah.
drive-through.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of hustle and bustle, we have Stefan on the line from Bayfest, and he's going to let us know what's happening there and what else is happening around town this weekend. Hello, Stefan.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey.
How you doing?
How are you, Stefan?
I'm doing very well. I'm glad the sun is finally out. The wind is picking up a little bit, but thankfully it's not raining.
Yes, it is a windy one though. How is it down at Bayfest today?
Yeah, Bayfest is excellent. This is their 30th year. Be back.
Wow.
Wow.
No, that is hard to believe. I don't.
Day,
Wow.
and they're still there for everybody. It's still going on until 5 o'clock this afternoon. They have 3 stages of live entertainment, lots
Wow.
of food, crafts, demonstrations, and all your favorite local businesses. So if you're in Summers Point or you're on your way over there, stop by and check it out. It's a lot of fun.
Fantastic. 5 o'clock it goes till?
Absolutely correct.
All right, that's great, Stefan. So what else is going on this weekend?
Well, tomorrow, of course, we have the HUA Earth Day Festival.
Okay.
And this is their highlight event. Every year they have demonstrations through the day, demonstrations on recycling, nature and plants. You can go on a tour of their massive recycling center, and they'll also take you on a tour of the wind farm.
Oh, neat.
It's a fantastic day. That goes on from 10 to 4, and that's at 6700 Delilah Road in DHT.
Okay, and that's a huge event, right?
That is the biggest event, and it fills up quickly. So if you get there, go early.
Okay. How's parking for that event, Stefan?
Oh, they have parking right on site. So you go in, their guides help you out and guide you directly into their lot. And it's be a fantastic day.
Yeah. So does the get there and go early apply to me and Sydney when it closes at 5? We're out here at 5:15.
Well, everyone.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's not too late. Just get out. The sun's out there. Beautiful day. Cram it. There's still a lot of vendors on the street, even breaking down. They still have a lot of great food products. Enjoy the walk. Some establishments are open as well down on Bay Avenue.
Yeah, I'm
And,
sure they're
that's
packed.
great.
We're all there right now.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much, Stefan.
Thank you very much. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, boss.
Thanks, bye. All
We
right,
got Joe.
Joe, okay, one more caller. Hello, Joe.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you today?
Good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Mhm.
So, Joe, tell us why you're calling in today.
Sure. So my name is Joseph Sal, and I'm Katie Newtown's South Hudson, and she's the race director for the upcoming Shorty Run and Uncle Jay Walk. And we wanted to call and talk about it a little bit.
Ah,
Oh,
great.
great.
Okay.
Fantastic. Sure.
Yeah, you're with Shirley May. That's fantastic. In fact, in the next hour, our guest is a breast cancer survivor that started her own business with cancer like aesthetics, helping cancer patients with cosmetology, aesthetic items. So we are thankful that you called. Next month is the big, next weekend, right? Or 2 weeks is the Shirley May.
It's going on Saturday, May 11th, so we're not
Right.
too back.
Mother's Day weekend.
Mother's Day weekend. Wow.
What a
Yeah.
perfect way to celebrate Mother's Day. So how can folks register for the run?
Well, overall, it comes with pre-registration.
Okay.
And for the most part, they can go to the website, and the website has all the information that they need in order to register for that.
Okay.
So, and all together, there's a lot of information that we can give you guys all together about the run, and it's just a great event all together. But the best way to do it is through the website.
Okay. And how many years has this been going on Mother's Day weekend in Atlantic City? It's been a long time, huh?
Yeah, so this year marks the 17th annual Shirley Run Uncle Joe Walk. Will be held in the boardwalk. It's going to be in front of Trenton County Casino Resort.
Okay.
Until Saturday, May 11th. Shirley May is my wife's grandmother, actually, and Michael Jay is my late father-in-law.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Very nice.
She's a 20-year breast cancer survivor.
Wow.
Michael J. Newstatter passed away from pancreatic cancer 7 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we really overall with everything, it's just a big community event, and the race committee, they're always thinking of just new and exciting ways to make the race more meaningful.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
overall, it's a great event that we think.
It is, and you have something for everyone, right? Like a 5K and a 1 mile fun run.
Yeah, so altogether we got 5K.
Okay.
We also have a 2-mile walk.
Ah, beautiful. That's the fun. That's the fun run for me. The 2 mile walk. Right.
Yeah. The 5K
Yeah.
run,
Right.
2-mile walk, and then there's also a kids run as well.
Nice.
Really something for everybody. And even if people don't participate, all the you're up on the boardwalk and you see so many people volunteering, and everyone has that same kind of passion for putting their time towards this event, and just it's really a great community event all around.
That's fantastic. Is there a virtual component also if you can't physically get up there?
Yes, there is actually, yes.
Okay, so you could go onto the website to participate in that?
Yes, you can. That's also on the website.
Nice. And all the proceeds from this go to cancer research, correct?
Yeah, so basically all the proceeds raised benefit the Shirley Breast Cancer Assistance Fund, the Michael J. Newstatter Pancreatic Cancer Fund, and Gilda's Club South Jersey. And the money goes directly to patients and families who need financial and emotional support. It also, another great component of it is that it goes to research studies that are dedicated to finding a cure for cancer as well. So it helps patients and it also helps research too.
That's so fantastic. That's really a great thing. How many runners do you have, or participants do you have registered now?
Well, at the moment, we're at around like 600, I want to say, just over 600, but
Nice.
the rate comes around, we're expecting probably a little over 1,500. We've had around that number before, so that's usually about the number that we get, around 1,500 participants.
That's great. Wow. Well, I will be out there, and thank you so much for calling in, Joe. I really appreciate it. And I'm sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
That's okay.
Thank you. So this is Joe Basil with the Shirley May Run, which is Mother's Day weekend coming up on the Atlantic City Boardwalk. One more time, Joe, what's the website to get information and register?
Sure, so the website is ShirleyMay.MichaelJRace.com. That's ShirleyMay.MichaelJRace.com. And all together, it's a rain or shine event. So come on out. We probably roughed it out through some years with the rain, and it's just a beautiful day, and we get that too. And just a quick note, there's just free parking at the Trenton County Casino Resort until 11:30 a.m.
Nice. That's good to know. All right. Thanks again, Joe. Have a great day.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks
Bye.
for calling.
Thanks.
Right.
Bye.
So-
Okay. So we are back with Scott and Julia Lindsay of Goji. And Goji is opening in Summers Point in just a couple weeks. You are probably familiar with it from JR's Fresh Market, from farm markets, from different festivals in the area. It's so delicious. So many different varieties. And the really cool thing is it's very healthy also. So
You're not going to beat that. And I'm grateful that they passed the baton. They saw the opportunity with it, you know what I mean, and they carried that kind of a tradition to bring it in our community because it's so well, you know what I mean, well needed here, you know. And I think there's a lot of deserving individuals that really crave that, but they don't know where to go, or they have to order it online, and it's not quite as fresh as what they anticipate. And not only that, the community integration of the social, you know, aspects of it, which we didn't really touch on that much. But you're creating an atmosphere. You'll have Wi-Fi. You're not going to have televisions, correct? Is that
The televisions.
okay?
Televisions aren't Goji.
There you go. That's correct. And there's a philosophy on that. But you're walking people into getting out there and socializing and meeting other neighbors in their community. and may find the commonality of sharing, a certain interest, right?
That's right.
Together, and then expanding on their horizons and their culture, and just keeping them very open-minded, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
The idea behind it is
Yeah.
basically Goji doesn't belong to us. It's a it's a community endeavor.
Right.
We're
I get it.
facilitators
Correct.
in this
Yep.
thing, and
Absolutely.
and we're
Yeah.
glad to be there, and it's an honor to be able to hold a business in a position on a main drag in a town we live in and are passionate about,
Wow.
and try to provide a good quality product at a great price and a great location for people to enjoy.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
That's awesome, and it is really delicious. It's all natural. Is it organic?
We have organic options. So
Okay.
some of it is organic, some of it's not. The thing with organics is it's not everything is always available organic,
Okay.
and our business model is based on approachability. So if you want organics, that's an option. We make it for you. But if we're gonna be able to create a price point and a pricing structure that's accessible and the mass public can accommodate it, that's part of the deal is going straight to farmers, local. When we can, we do use organic ingredients though.
That's awesome.
Wonderful.
And you mentioned, Scott, that you were a vegan before it was cool to be a vegan. We are seeing an increase in vegetarianism and veganism, right?
We sure are. I can remember a couple of my earliest memories are my mom sending me to school with veggie burgers in 4th grade, and the kids making fun of me like, what is this? And turn around in high school, I saw a tide started turning, and people started becoming trendy or cool or
Yeah.
what have you. And I said, hey, I've been doing this my whole life.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it cool then? So it's really nice to be able to share a part of my personal culture, which is how I personally grew up. She's a vegetarian. We met in college. I kind of tricked her. I told her I didn't know how to cook. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I tricked her. So, and 10 years later, 2 kids later, and
Yeah.
a couple businesses later, here we
She
are.
took the bait.
She took
Vegetarian
it.
bait.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Got me.
Absolutely. Vegan
Yeah.
bait.
made a meal together, and it's just kind of funny how things work out. Beautiful family, and my other half, my better half, really.
Yeah. Better hat and Bennett. So
Yeah.
it doesn't get better than this in a family business and tradition. You're going to carry on. I can see it now.
That's it.
Tradition will carry on.
That's it.
Another vegetarian coming up.
I gotta keep reminding my daughter, she's 2.5. This child
Yeah.
labor laws. You
Yeah.
can't wash the dishes. She wants to be a part of it. She wants to help.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
great.
The beauty of it is, you can see even with our contractors, it brought people together. Just to give you an example, is our electrician, Ocean Electric, awesome guy, this guy Bill Ban. We just met him through bidding out the job, and he's become really good friends with us. Where he just stopped over yesterday, and he's learning how to make juice with us in the back juice room, prepping for a couple hours. And it's just, that's what it's about. It's about
Yeah.
continuing,
Community.
educating,
It's about
community.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't discourage. Anybody has a bullet or whatever it is, juicer at home, go ahead, knock yourself
Do
out.
it.
Whatever
Oh,
it might be, go ahead and
100%.
do it.
See, we also have a take-home smoothie pack, which
Okay.
makes it really approachable. So it's basically an old Haagen-Dazs, not an old Haagen-Dazs, but it's a Haagen-Dazs container, and
Okay,
it
just
has
a container.
it
So
has our exact smoothies
Okay.
in it
Yeah.
that you can take home, blend with almond milk or blend with water this quantity, and you're gonna get the same smoothie we have. But that smoothie will tell you the exact ingredients on the label, what it's good for as far as health. And if you wanted to, you could dump that out and scale it out and steal our recipe. But our philosophy behind it is good for you.
Yeah.
Hopefully you give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. No, fantastic.
We don't have monopoly on,
Yeah.
on the food.
Yeah. Interesting. You mentioned almond milk, but now I see even in the supermarkets, okay, that Quaker did right by it with the oatmeal. Okay, so they put it out there. Everybody's familiar with oatmeal and in the morning and everything like that. But they're not really familiar with the oatmeal milk now, and the consistency and the differences between coconut or almond or cashew, whatever. Talk to us about the quality and the nature, of the oatmeal milk and the more versatility that it may have or the capabilities,
Sure. So on our menu, just to backtrack just a little bit, we have a couple different alternative milks. We do coconut milk, we do fresh pressed almond and cashew milk, which we're making in house.
Yeah.
And then we are also sourcing Oatly, which is a beautiful oat milk. It's European oat milk. Just started coming into the States. I believe they're building a plant in Millville.
Wow.
But it's one of the only milks where I see it as, you know, you could definitely convert regular milk drinkers to an alternative milk because it has a similar consistency. It doesn't have that nutty flavor of almond milk
Right.
or cashew milk or you know, that fruity flavor of coconut milk.
Okay.
So that's what we're using in our lattes and things like that. So if you're a casual regular milk drinker, I could put that in there. You probably would
Never
know.
know the difference.
Yeah.
Animal fat, milk, or anything like that. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm a vegetarian, but I'm not vegan, and it comes down to the coffee cream, where I can't seem to give that up. But I'm just tasting your cold brew or cold pressed coffee. It's delicious.
Sure.
It's delicious black.
That was made in a Kyoto style brewer, which is a drip brewer. Mike has seen
Yeah, I
it. It's
saw it,
about
yeah.
4 feet tall. It's a very controlled drip rate, very controlled temperature. It took 12 hours to make a batch, and you know, it doesn't need anything. It's smooth, and you know, it's quality coffee, and you know, it kicks a punch. So you're gonna make it in one.
Okay, now I'm indecisive which way to go. There's one the lower sugar or this. Tell me about it because I'm ready to pop one open here. I want to make
For
that.
you, I think that would be a
This
very
one.
approachable juice. Yeah,
Okay.
shake
So I'm
her
shaking it up a
shake
little
her
bit.
up.
Okay,
So-
and then you're going to tell me what it is.
Sure, that's
I'm
our,
not intimidated by it. I'm
that's our
drinking it
spark
regardless.
juice. We call that spark. Maybe you should tell me what it is.
There you
Spark
go, Mike.
juice. Okay.
Yeah, that's called spark on our menu.
What is it, Mike?
Ginger, carrot in there too, or no?
You're onto something. Ginger, carrot,
Okay, you keep going.
Orange. Is there orange,
Orange.
in it?
apple,
Apple,
and then
Pineapple.
secret ingredient, turmeric.
turmeric.
Ah,
That's
very
the little
healthy.
taste. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, turmeric, awesome medicinal root plant, root vegetable, and you know, really good for inflammation in the body, just in general. You know, and that's what we're about. We're about treating ailments, general lifestyle through proper nutrition.
So this isn't a turmeric powder. This is actually you press the turmeric,
that's
right,
crushed-
and everything,
crushed
everything's
turmeric,
crushed in it,
absolutely.
and then make. as-
Weighed, scaled out.
Wow.
So you know that same juice you're getting today. If you came down 3 months from now, it's
Yeah.
gonna be the same.
Wow.
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 Yeah.
So I love that you're. There's a couple things. I love that it's delicious. You're a family business working together in the community, and it's all local ingredients that you're using.
Mhm.
So, which is just amazing. So what farms are you getting your ingredients from?
So we have one farm that we're sourcing from is Donio in Hamilton. Basically, you're taking a truckload and a trailer load of goods from them on a weekly basis.
And they're blueberries.
I was
Yeah.
gonna. There you go.
Blueberries.
Blueberries.
Oh, that was going to be my
Yeah.
trivia question for the day.
So if you
Oh,
want,
my
if you
goodness,
want to
give
go
away.
get
All right,
yourself some
okay.
blueberries, you can get a 30-pound
Yeah.
box right now. You'd
Yeah.
be surprised at how inexpensive it is when you start buying a wholesale produce.
30
Yeah.
pounds at a
You know,
time.
you start buying a 40-pound case of banana,
Yeah.
10 40-pound cases of banana. All of a sudden, you think
Let's do the math. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
volume produce. I'm
Yeah.
convinced could save you know,
Yeah.
world hunger. Honestly, yeah, when you
Okay.
really look at it.
And you're not opposed to the frozen, like blueberries or Jersey fresh, whatever it might be. They add a lot of credence as well. Yeah.
Absolutely not. No,
Yeah.
we're not opposed to that. We use a couple products that are frozen in our smoothies. It has to be frozen.
Absolutely,
But
yeah.
the blueberries,
Yep.
local blueberry farm.
Fantastic.
All right, guys,
All right.
we have to go to break. Thank you so much for being here,
Scott,
and
Julia,
Goji.
and Bennett, Lindsay.
Thank
Goji.
you for having us.
All
It
right.
was a pleasure.
Route 9 next to Santori's Produce. You got to stop within 2 weeks. Just keep an eye on it. All right. Spring it up. All right.
All right.
You guys are
guys
awesome.
so much.
I can't wait
Thank
to
you
go
so
there.
much.
guys.
You
Nice
know,
to have you.
yeah, we,
Yeah, let me know when you do
we're
your
gonna
ribbon
talk
cutting.
about-
We'll-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we want to
come
cover.
to the
We
city.
want to cover that. We'll
Yeah.
get somebody, to interview you and talk about that as well, so we can get it in print as well.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? So that's it. And soon we'll be doing it every week in Midway.
Yeah.
We're looking for it,
It's not
so.
too bad, right? It's easy when you got these guys directing
Yeah,
you.
it's
You
all
know what I mean?
right?
Yeah.
So you're on YouTube with Mr. Myers. We
All right.
post this as well online and everything.